All right, morning everyone. My name is Terrence Boodhai of the Highway Reroute Movement. Let me publicly say good morning to everyone who's here. In particular, I would like to express on behalf of the Highway Reroute Movement my gratitude and the movement's gratitude that the Roundtable has taken up this opportunity to join us in this meeting, and in particular to join us on a tour of the Davie to Mondesi area in order to get a feel of the status of actual works that have taken place rather than depending on statements by the government or other persons in relation to how far work has progressed on this project. The Highway Route Movement, and I think the rest of the national community as well, recognizes that, this being an election season, members possibly from this very round table may become the future leaders of this country or may form the next government. And we think it's important that the future leaders get an opportunity to obtain the position of the Highway Route Movement in relation to Davie to Mondesi and to see for themselves, like I said, the status of works on the ground so that they can take the best decision going forward in relation to Davie to Mondesi. Before I do that though, I just wanted to present our optimum connectivity proposal, which is the Highway Route Movement's alternative proposal for Davie to Mondesi. And as I go through this proposal, I will also give an idea on how much work has occurred in each of these segments, and in particular between Davie and Mondesi. Right, so our proposal is based on the concept of connector roads. So basically what we are proposing is that within the communities itself, rather than having one major highway that will cost an excessive amount, that will impact on the ecology of the area, that will impact on the communities, that will impact negatively on agricultural lands, that the existing roads in the area be developed, as well as connector roads be developed within the communities to aid in connectivity. And those connector roads would link into the main highway network. So the idea is that these roads would go around communities and environmentally sensitive areas. As you all know, the Davie to Mondesi area is a wetland area. These connector roads and bypass roads would be less destructive than highways. They would integrate into the current road architecture, meaning that they would not be at a level higher than the overall existing road architecture in the area, and they would flow into the existing road architecture. And of course, a major factor here would be the reduced cost of the use of existing roads and development of connector roads, rather than building 4 massive interchanges, 4-lane highway, 60 to 100 meters in width. So I'll just give a background of the project as it exists right now. On the map, you will see the proposed San Fernando to Point Fortin segment of the highway. So as most of you would know, at around the area of Bamboo Junction or Dumfries Road by the Coca-Cola factory, the works are already going on in that area, close to San Fernando, along the creek going down to Paria Suites, then to Oropouche, and a lot of this segment has already been constructed between San Fernando and Oropouche at St. Mary's Junction. Oropouche to Mondesi, work has progressed significantly as well, and I believe they have formally opened that section. From Mondesi to Point Fortin, works are mostly yet to begin. Now, the San Fernando to Point Fortin segment, the Highway Reroute Movement has always expressed that we are not against this particular segment, and we were fully for it back in 2012, and we continue to be so. And in our proposal, this particular roadway will not be impacted. The other section that you all would probably be familiar with is the Golconda to Debe section. For those of you who took the highway coming from north today, the Solomon Hochoy Highway, you would have passed Golconda and, what am I saying? For those of you who would have probably come from south today, from Debe, would have probably taken that Debe to Golconda highway. This highway is already completed and is in use. Again, the highway reroute movement has stated publicly that we were never against this highway. It is built on highlands and does have adverse impact, social and environmental impacts. The segment in red is the Debe to Mondesi section. So this is the contentious section that residents have been fighting against, have been struggling against, have been lobbying against since 2005, 2006, starting with a protest at Trinto Plan offices in Tacarigua. This segment is approximately 9 miles or 15 kilometers. It will displace over 200 homes. It will impact negatively on the ecology of the area. It will cost definitely greater than 50% of the planned or budgeted $7.2 billion. 1.4 million tons of aggregate will be required to build this roadway, mostly because this is lowland or wetlands, so it's a lagoon, naturally lagoon area, and therefore 1.4 million tons of aggregate will be required. An embankment 8 to 10 to 12 feet at certain points will have to be built along the Debe to Mondesi segment in order to facilitate a 4-lane highway. And this is the segment that we are firmly against. I just want to show you here, before I get into our proposal, the existing road network. So these lines that you see on the map represent the existing roads in the area between Debe, Pinal, Siparia, Faizabad, and Mondesi. It's a rich network of roads. There's connectivity everywhere. Most of these roads are not in a good condition. Some are used as back roads currently. A few of them are in good condition and are currently used. And seeing what already existed, the type of infrastructure that already existed in the area, the highway route movement made a proposal that hinged upon and that would take advantage of the existing road connectivity that exists. So what we are proposing is to remove the Debe to Mondesi, or to stop the Debe to Mondesi segment. And we are proposing a segment, a 4-lane highway, starting at Debe, where the current interchange is, going across empty county lands and ending up just north of Paris Suites. So this 4-lane segment would not impact on homes. There are no homes here. These are ex-county lands. They are empty. They would be built on highlands and therefore would not impact on the lagoon. So that is shown in the green line represented on the map. Persons coming from the main Solomon Hochoy Highway could therefore get into Golconda, down to Debe, merge into that 4-lane highway, and then get on to the main highway going down to Point Fortin. So therefore, persons coming from or to Port of Spain would have a non-stop highway going straight down to Point Fortin without traffic lights and so on. So that is the first part of the proposal. The second part of the proposal is the use of a bypass road shown in green, starting from Debe, and this bypass road would be going through the communities, and it would end up along the SS Erin Main Road close to Siparia. So basically this roadway would allow commuters coming from San Fernando or from Debe to bypass this region that you see highlighted here in yellow between Debe and Siparia. And this area represented in yellow here is the SS Erin Road. Along that road is the main area there are certain points along that road that has traffic. And the government is very fond of talking about traffic in these areas. What they are actually referring to is traffic at specific points between Debe and Pinal along the SS Erin Road. So this bypass road in green would allow commuters to bypass those nodes of traffic between Debe and Pinal and therefore get down within minutes to Superior. It would not be a highway. It would integrate seamlessly into the existing road network as a bypass road. It would cost a lot less, and it would allow commuters to, as I say, bypass that region of traffic there. Now, the green line, where you see the bypass road, the government has already done works in that area. So from Debe to the region of Pinal, they have already started doing their embankment, and we have proposed to them to rather use that embankment as a four-lane highway, that it be used as a bypass road that would integrate into the existing road architecture. So work has already gone on there. The majority of properties, if not all of the properties along that green line, have already been acquired by the state. So therefore, this proposal will not require further acquisition of properties. The other part of our proposal makes use of existing roads. Let me just back up. So this next line that you see in purple starts from Superior, goes to San Francisco Road, bypasses San Francisco Road, and then goes to Woodland, Plock Road, and then would join to our proposed highway shown in green. So this is an existing roadway. It would need remediation at some points, but most of this roadway is currently in a good condition. And it would allow commuters from Superior to, within 10 minutes, get onto the main highway network. The other proposed roadway that we would like to make use of is an existing road between Faizabad and Mondesi, shown in purple. So this would make use of the existing Delhi Road. This would definitely need remediation through a significant portion in order for commuters to use it. But it would allow Faizabad commuters to, within 5 minutes, get onto the main highway network between San Fernando and Point Fortin. As you can see, it's a very short line between Faizabad and Mondesi. And we're talking in the order of a couple of kilometers as the crow flies. The other proposed roadway, existing roadway that we propose be used, is the roadway between Faizabad and Oropouche via Pepper Village. And this would allow commuters from Faizabad to again access the main highway network via Oropouche. An interchange is going to be built at Oropouche, which would allow vehicles to enter into that roadway without stopping at a traffic light per se. So therefore, that would solve a lot of the traffic issues there. So as you could see, just to summarize, our proposal involves the construction of a four-lane highway between Debe and Paria Suites that would allow non-stop traffic from Porter's Bay to Point Fortin. And we also propose a bypass road between Debe and Superior, as well as make use of the existing roads in the area in order to improve connectivity for these areas. Let me just skip out of that. So the advantages of the proposal, some of these I've mentioned before. It would be built at the level and width of the other roads. That is the bypass road that we've suggested between Debe and Superior. It will be built at the level of the other roads and therefore will fit into the general road architecture. It will not disrupt or fragment it. So it will not cause certain roads to be blocked or become blocked up as a result of a four-lane highway going across it. The majority, if not all of the properties along this path have already been acquired by the state, and therefore it will not involve further acquisition or dislocation. It will avoid the need for large destructive interchanges at Pinal, Superior, Faizabad, as well as overpasses and underpasses. So our proposal does not involve huge interchanges at Pinal, Superior, Faizabad. That is three fewer interchanges to consider, and therefore the huge costs associated with those interchanges. It will take approximately 10 minutes at most to get from one end of the new bypass road to the other. It will save our treasury a sum that we've estimated to be about $1 billion, and it will take minimal time to construct. And these savings can therefore be used to construct our proposed highway between Debe and Paria Suites. There will be only a moderate disruption of the Oropouche Lagoon, and in any case, most of this disruption has already occurred because the state has already put down material along that right-of-way. It will save the communities that have not already been acquired by the state, and it will connect with the existing grid of streets that already exist in the area. So basically, the main advantage of our proposal is the aiding of connectivity in the area and the use of bypass and connector roads that would integrate into the main highway network. Our proposal and our bypass roads would not involve dislocation and severe negative impacts on the communities involved. And the bypass roads as well would also link seamlessly into the main highway network. Right? Just some points to note here about the Siparia and Woodland connector that I spoke about before. This road is currently free of traffic, and it will allow easy access to Siparia, to the highway network. The Faizabad-Delhi Road connector, which currently is also free from traffic and would allow easy access to Faizabad, to the highway network. And the Faizabad-Pepper Village connector, which would allow easy access to Faizabad, to the highway network via the Urupooch interchange. Before I end, I would just like to give a brief idea of where we'll be going today for the tour. So from here, we will be leaving with a maxi to Mondesi. So we are currently at San Fernando, and I may need to do this in order to show you. We are currently at San Fernando, which is here. We would be going down the Creek Road, right? And they've already started doing some construction here, so we'll see those works. We'll use the Creek Road, get to Urupooch, and from Urupooch we'll take the new highway segment that was built between Urupooch and Mondesi and get down to Mondesi. So this would actually be the start of the tour at Mondesi. We'll actually stop there, and we will show you the work that has started there. So at this point, works have been done. There's a roadway that passes here in order to get down to Point Fortin. A culvert has also been built, and most of the other works that have been done, some piling work has started, but most of the other works is really the clearing of land at Mondesi. At the other locations, from Mondesi we go to Faizabad, which is here. At Faizabad interchange, you will see that there is none to minimal work, so this is basically bush at this point. We will then go down to Siparia interchange in this region here. This area is actually where most of my family are from, and the interchange is actually on my parents' and uncles' and aunts' lands belonging to them. And this area no work is currently being done or has been done on this area. It's all green at this point. We will then proceed along existing roads in the area in order to get to Pinal, where the Pinal interchange would be done. No work has been done at the Pinal interchange itself. And then from Pinal, we will head back into Debe so that you could see some of the works, the embankment, which is about 8-10 feet at certain points between Pinal and Debe. Like I said, work has been done along this area. So we'll see that. And we'll stop at the Debe interchange, where, of course, there is an interchange. And the highway route movement never had any issue with this interchange per se. So we would be going to each of the sites, and you'll just get an idea. The Roundtable members, as well as members of the media, are invited to the tour to get an idea of the status of the works at each of the sites. And that concludes my PowerPoint presentation. Yeah?
Thank you very much, Terrence. And I just ask one more short statement from another member of the highway movement, Ms. Boodhai. She's just going to read a statement on behalf of the highway standards switch chairs.